Hi, this is the Tolkien Curmudgeon. I'm back to talk about Season 2, Episode 7 of The Rings of Power again. As I said, I try to make 2 short videos about each episode. So I've already talked about some of the main things, or just a couple of things I was reacting to after watching it. And I've already talked about the kiss, but I think I'll be touching on that topic again here in a couple of minutes. Anyway, I try to watch some videos and comments from other people about this topic, and I'm very much worried about Tolkien fandom getting divided, into the haters and the shills. We shouldn't be throwing those words around at each other so fastly. Anyway, I think the algorithm is tending to divide people up, and maybe people, not just in politics, but even on this kind of thing, they're only viewing things that agree with them. I mean, very few videos are coming up on my feed of people who like it. But if I really search, I find out, oh, there are reaction channels, and there are people putting out things where they like the Rings of Power and they're defending the kiss and things like that. Anyway, we have to try to avoid ridiculing and hating on other people. When I hate the show, I'm not hating people, and I don't appreciate it if people call me a hater. I don't hate for hate's sake. I hate the show because I want them to make better shows in the future, and because I love and respect Tolkien. Even though he's dead, and even though he's sold the rights, I don't think they can do whatever they want with it, because Tolkien's work is like a secondary creation. It exists in the minds of many of his readers. And it's an almost holy thing to a lot of us. And when people come in and totally change things, it can seem like a desecration. Now, I know that Peter Jackson's movies and other things, they already deviated a lot, and I think that's a very good point. The Lord of the Rings movies were made, for all their flaws, they were made by a man who had a vision. He wanted to make the Lord of the Rings movies, and then he went around to different studios to try to find someone who would finance the project, or would sponsor it, or was going to produce it. When he got to The Hobbit, it was already this giant monetary commodity that the studios wanted him to make, and they had their own ideas, and they intervened a lot more, I think. And so the Hobbit movies were not just the product of what Peter Jackson wanted to make with them. There were also, I think, a lot more also what the studio thought they should do. That they should have handsome dwarves, or dwarves with a little bit shorter beards, or they should have a love interest, or whatever. Those things that they put into the Hobbit movies that a lot of us didn't like. Anyway, one of the things we shouldn't do is so facilely attribute base motives to other people. I really don't like it when people come along and they say, oh, they're trying to destroy Tolkien because they hate Tolkien. Oh, they're so woke about this and that and the other thing. They forget that one of the showrunners is a Mormon. I hardly think he has a giant woke agenda. And in fact, it's pretty unwoke when you look at it. I mean, there's a lot of blonde elves in control, and women. Look, the main female character, she's always being humiliated, really. Galadriel is almost always wrong and doing something crazy. And then this new character, Mirdania, she's just killed right away. There's hardly any, actually, women characters that have had really great significance in this show. I mean, well, maybe Poppy, but she's still way off to the side. What is she really going to do? I don't know. We don't really know what's going on behind the scenes in Amazon. People sometimes post things like, oh, I know because I know somebody, but that still just amounts to rumors. We don't really know. But we can surmise, and we can guess, and we should say, when a guess is a guess, we shouldn't say, oh, they are definitely doing this, they are definitely doing that. What we can say is that Amazon is one of the biggest corporations in the world, and this is not just the vision of one artist who thought, oh, I really want to make the Rings of Power Second Age show, and that's all I really want to do, and I'm just so glad somebody selected us to do it. Well, no, it was that Amazon bought these rights and they wanted to make a television show, and then they looked for somebody who could propose something that they wanted to do. But it's what Amazon as a corporation wanted to do. They want to increase the name value of their company so that more people will subscribe. It's all about money. That's all. It's not, I'm not saying no art can make money. Yeah, it can make money. But if that's the primary motivation, then that has an effect on the outcome. Yes, Tolkien made money with The Lord of the Rings, and to a certain extent, he was writing a sequel, right? So to a certain extent, he was writing it to an audience. But when you think about most of the writing he did, he often just, about the First Age and so many things, he didn't really have any audience in mind. He was just creating. He had such a deep passion for creating and it had nothing to do with getting something out of it. I think that's part of what, say, Tom Bombadil represents, is somebody who loves things and doesn't want to get something out of it. I'm not saying there's everything wrong in the world with wanting to get something out of something, but what's the primary motivation? Think about it. Now, this is my guess, right? And I've heard some things, but anyway, apparently Bezos wanted to have his Game of Thrones, which means he wanted a mass culture thing that everybody's talking about all over the world, where they after work, people are lunch break the next day after an episode, people are discussing at the water coolers. They say, oh, the big controversy. Wow, what happened in last night's episode? Wow, it was so amazing. Well, that's what this kiss, I think, what it was. They were thinking, we're going to get people talking. It'll be great. They'll be sucked into this series and they'll be really watching it. And everybody will be talking, what was that kiss? Oh, why? Whoa, whoa. And then it'll get people excited and they'll want to know. And then, of course, this kiss turns out not to be romantic. It was just because he was passing the sigil so that she could open her cuffs or whatever they're called. Yeah, okay. But that's why they played up the controversy, I think. The music swells and you can see Elrond. Yes, it's not an erotic kiss, but it's certainly an affectionate kiss. And yeah, he's saying goodbye and so on and so forth. But they want you to not know. And guess what? For me anyway, it was really easy to not even notice that he was passing the sigil. He took the badge off and I didn't really understand what was going on. Even later when she escaped, I thought, what's that thing? Because they didn't focus on it. They wanted to make it ambiguous because they want to have, I think, although it's like I said, I can't say for sure, but I can't read people's hearts. But it seems like they just really want to have this controversy. But what's sad is it's dividing people. And people say, you're a shill, you're a hater, you're a shill, you're a hater. Listen, I hate the series, but I don't hate people. I don't hate for hate's sake. I hate the series because I love Tolkien. And I think what he made is so much better. So much better. Now, that said and done, I want to mention something. That yes, a kiss in different cultures can mean quite different things. And it doesn't have to be the most disgusting thing in the world that this happened. But they want some people to think maybe it's a disgusting thing and they like the controversy, it seems to me. But anyway, yes, there's a very interesting example of a kiss in Middle-earth and it's in this book, one of my very favoriteest of all Tolkien books, and it's in one of my favorite poems that Tolkien wrote, the alliterative lay of Turin. Anyway, after Beleg is killed by Turin's own sword, when they go to bury him, what does Turin do? He kisses the corpse of Beleg on the mouth. In different cultures, it's true. The kiss can have different meanings. Now, Corey Olsen even pointed this out. But what I don't agree with is only talking about the positive side of the show and never talking about the negative. When we evaluate something, yes, we should evaluate something. And we shouldn't be afraid that if we say we don't like the show, then nobody will be interested in Tolkien anymore. Or if we say that we love the show, we hate the show, this is going to happen. Just say the truth, People have gotten away from saying sincerely what they really think because they're looking for clicks, they're looking for reactions, and some people, they're looking for money. And unfortunately, I don't have very many subscribers, so I couldn't even dream of monetizing this channel. So I'm not doing this for money, that's for sure. It's just I want to talk about what I think is the truth of these things. And hopefully, if someone disagrees, they'll politely tell me what they think. I'm not polite to this series. Why? Because I went to fine arts. I went to the university and I studied fine arts. And when you put your painting on the wall and the other students talk about it, they sometimes are merciless. And that's okay, because we learn from that. We shouldn't be so sensitive that we can't hear anyone criticize the art that we love. You know, we should be able to read literary criticism that hates Tolkien, and you should be able to read it and go, this guy, he really hates Tolkien, but I'm going to read it because it's interesting for a certain reason. So, you know, we don't have to love or hate any particular artworks. But this is just what I think about it. I don't like this trying to have controversy and dividing people because of it. We should avoid saying, oh, he's a hater, he's a shill, she's a hater, she's a shill. Terrible. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.